Project AirQual, a resource for creating healthier communities. Air pollution is harmful to human health. Our video series is a tool for creating awareness of this public health concern. The purpose is to explain ways air pollution harms our health, improve understanding of factors that contribute to air pollution in communities, and bring public health into community planning and design decisions. This project is provided by the Community Outreach and Engagement Corps of the Harvard Center for Environmental Health, with funding from the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences.
In the neighborhood, how traffic affects your air. We now know that, in general, air pollution is harmful to human health. But is all air pollution the same? Traffic. It costs us our time. Sometimes it costs us our sanity. But there is another cost of high-density traffic to consider: its impact on the air we breathe. Dr. Jonathan Levy of the Harvard School of Public Health teamed up with the City of Boston to investigate the effect of traffic on air quality in one high-traffic Boston neighborhood.
Mission Hill is a very interesting location. It's located right next to some major hospitals in Boston. There's also a lot of schools and universities around, not just the School of Public Health, but a number of others. So there's a lot of traffic and a lot of activity in the area. There's also, along some of these major streets, some low-income housing developments, some public housing. There's a lot of potentially vulnerable individuals that are living just up next to some of these major roads. And so one of the tough research questions is understanding whether all particles have the same kinds of health effects or whether there's differences. You can have very, very small particles that are much less than the width of a human hair, and you can have much larger particles that could even be sort of dust and debris that gets kicked up by people. We focused on a few key pollutants. One of them was called ultrafine particulate matter, and these are very small particles that come into the air from burning of fuel. We also looked at fine particulate matter, which is particles that are slightly larger than the ultrafine particles, and these do come from traffic, but they also come from a lot of other sources and can travel a long distance in the atmosphere. So that was a pollutant that we expected would not have the same kind of spatial patterns in Mission Hill. And then we also looked at elemental carbon, which is also known as soot. This is what tends to come out of the tailpipe of dirty diesel buses.
Dr. Levy and his team sought to understand how the concentrations of these pollutants varied from block to block and street to street, and how traffic patterns influenced this distribution of particles. At the Mission Hill Health Movement Office, the researchers set up equipment that counted both traffic levels and particle levels continuously 24 hours per day. To supplement this fixed site, 6 high school student interns took mobile measurements using portable monitors that they carried in backpacks. The students also recorded the number of diesel and non-diesel vehicles present, characterized the flow of traffic, logged the location of traffic that was backed up beyond the sampling area, and noted the presence of atypical activity such as construction, idling cars, and nearby smokers. By understanding the different types of particles and what factors cause them to reach high concentrations in our air, we can learn to better control our air quality. Through informed planning, we can reduce the incidence of asthma, cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, premature death, and other illnesses in our own communities.
Even putting, a 20-meter, a 50-meter buffer away from a roadway is better than nothing. So you can take smaller steps where you're space constrained that at least start to improve things incrementally.
Think you can escape air pollution? Think again. In cities, high traffic density makes it very difficult to avoid air pollution. In rural areas, air pollution can come from highway traffic as well as from agricultural wastes, pesticides, and exhaust from farm machinery. Air pollution can travel between urban areas and rural areas and from power plants miles away. Outdoor air pollution does get into buildings. You can, however, take steps to decrease your contribution to air pollution in your community. Reduce your motor vehicle use or switch to a more fuel-efficient and less polluting vehicle. Know the sources of pollution in your community and advocate for regulations that can reduce or eliminate these sources. Alert authorities to potential violations or to concerns. Support healthier planning of transportation routes, with plenty of walking and biking paths. Support the use of public transportation and cleaner energy sources. How can your community be made safer from air pollution? Remember to consider your health when developing and planning the place in which you live and breathe.